Okay, we'll try one more time. I noticed pretty much straight away that I had disconnected. But if it goes out, then that's too bad at that point. So we pick out that return wing to get out of one dungeon. We'll try, Maddie. We'll try and use the fire extinguisher. But this really is last chance to learn. I don't think anyone wants us to do a run with like 10 string drops in it.
Annoying.
I'm ready. New data.
Get ready.
My turn.
Okay, so we're just sweeping through these enemies. Pretty easy.
My turn.
Learned a bunch of new skills that do more damage than the base ones.
This is friggin' annoying. Get ready. Stay down. Get ready. Stay down. Next. Out of my way. Let's do this. Let's do this. Out of my way. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Rip the 4 centers.
Get ready. Next.
Defeated by code.
Get ready. Go. Get ready. Not yet. Let's do next. Ready?
Oh, why do I only have 95 SP? Whatever. I guess I didn't do something I normally would. It's no problem. Just means this will take slightly longer. Yeah, just compensate them with a bit of footing or whatever. There's not much we can do about it. Mid-run.
Out of my way! Get ready! Getting fired up, eh? Let's do this next! Out of my way! Get ready! Let's do this!
Whoops.
Let's go, Chewie.
Get ready!
I'm ready. Here we go.
To die! Get ready! Stay there!
So yeah, apart from being on a fast console and dropping the stream once, we haven't done anything different to Endeavour so far, other than minor strat variations. Possibly, but anything intentional. Eventually we're going to start having to collect stuff though. So the requirements of Evil Goddess is that you have to unseal 16 Furies from the Vile God.
Show me what you got. I'm ready.
Let's do this! Let's go, eh?
Here we go.
Let me just finish this boss battle.
My turn.
Get ready! Stay down!
Yeah, so you have to unseal 16 Furies from the Vile God. You don't have 16 Furies before the cutoff point in the new game. At all. And DLC Furies don't count. You can't use them. Which is why this is impossible on an actual true new game.
I'm ready. Here we go.
Not over!
So we just need to speed through one playthrough so that we can try again and actually have 16 Furies, but if I just go through the game any percent, I won't have enough Furies regardless. I need to get at least one optional one. And then, in order to actually finish the Evil Goddess story, once you do enter it, you need to reach quest rank B, or quest rank C rather, in order to get a quest which is required to beat the game.
Golden opportunity.
Brace yourself! Let's do this!
My turn. New data.
Out of my way!
Meanwhile, we just do a little more menuing and kill Apollonius.
Do this!
I'm ready. Here we go.
Leave that dungeon. Get the bath towels. Rather early in the game for a Hot Springs event, but hey. Not like it concerns us in this veteran. So we need to reach quest rank C in order to get a quest to get a key item to beat the Evil Goddess story at all. But if you just barrel your way straight into Evil Goddess story without getting the quest rank beforehand, then it's basically impossible to actually get the quest rank, because the enemies and such you need for the quest just aren't available anymore. Meaning we need to actually do that in advance as well. Having said that, advance doesn't mean this early. I can wait until the start of the second playthrough to do it. Meanwhile, here's our first encounter of the run. And of course it's in Subterranean Tower where it's a complete obnoxious to try and run away. But in the end we did it. Without them taking a turn. Whoops, wrong floor. I thought I was one floor ahead of where I actually am. Anyway. Evil Goddess requirements. So, at the start of the second playthrough is when we'll be focusing on the quest rank. It's nothing too hard to do, but you do need to gather some stone items, some of which can only be acquired from monster drops. Fortunately, when I say drops, there is another way. You can steal them from enemies, and that's way more reliable than drop RNG. There's still RNG involved, but you don't have to kill enemies over and over just to get more chances. You can always just spam your steal skill, and you will get the item eventually. And there is one of every item, and you can get one item per enemy you fight, guaranteed. Unless you somehow run out of all your SP.
Let's go!
My turn. New data.
Get ready!
Here we
Anyways, this is another unwinnable fight. As we went into during Endeavor's run, unwinnable fights are unwinnable even on amateur. Yeah, that's the guild where you would get the quest rank, but I'm not doing it yet. It's way better to do it in the second playthrough than the first, so... Now I will get the damage times 2 Fury, which doubles all damage, not just yours, but the enemies as well. But because it's amateur, that doesn't really matter. And bring down our party to the most useful ones. Whoops. That isn't quite right. Remove the other 3, and move these 3 to the true front row, instead of just one file behind it. And then get damage times 2.
Let's do this, eh? Here I come! Getting fired up, eh?
Whoops, missed one.
Here I come! How was that?
Oh, I've also forgot to change Japanese voices. I'm not sure if they're installed on this game. I'll have a quick look now, may as well. Okay, they are. Thanks for the inadvertent reminder, person in chat. So now we'll play on Japanese voices for the rest of the run.
全てをかける
任せておき。
行くぜ
Yeah, to win the Sha fight on English, you pretty much need to be level 999, and then it just takes forever,
今よが僕ですね
and uses a lot of items.
次は
Maybe not quite 999, I think I won at like 800 or 900, but it takes a very long time regardless.
油断するな。
行きます
任せておき。
やるぜ死ね
最初から全力で行くぞ。
Holy shit, I activated his cutscene already. That could have been bad. Whoops, wrong scale.
私が抜く。
覚悟しや
どなたが相手？
僕ですね
出番だ。
みなぎる
Okay, first timeline clear. Dang it. Ambush, oh no. Well, it's unimportant anyways, but you still don't want it to happen. It matters more later.
片付ける寝てろ
Now we're going to use both Furies a couple of times just to get a bit of extra experience. Do a little bit of menuing before I forget. Okay, another encounter, that sucks, but oh well.
てもらう次
どなたが相手かした終わりで
We can cope with encounters since we now have Maelstrom to just wipe the field and damage times 2, which makes sure that it does wipe the field. Dang it, I didn't kill her.
覚悟しな一丁上が
And then if I'm remembering my routing correctly, we use Self on that last dungeon to make sure we have 550 SP for this one. So that we can do this straight on this boss. Not 100% sure that that was the reason, but I'm like 90% sure.
うっとうしいぜ
Also Rip Blan.
次覚悟しな次
Now we'll equip the Strong Furies. Oh man, that war is pretty close. Whoops, I missed the second one. That's fine, but
もらう一丁
bit of a shame that I missed him. Time-wise. And more shenanigans with both Furies instead of just one. We will finally have to start collecting stuff for our Evil Goddess quest soon. Not quite yet, but soon. Oh wow. Never mind then. We don't need that experience. We don't need it that badly. Endeavour was fine without the experience, so I assume I will be as well. So I need to give her a couple of items here. The first one is a windstone. And the second one, a little later on, is a playstone. One of the rank up quests for rank D to rank C is to make 2 certain stones, and you make them via crafting, and these are probably the 2 most obnoxious quests in the game, this one and then its sequel. We don't have to do the sequel, thankfully, but we do have to make the basic stones. And that's the safe strat on that fight, to make sure that no one dies by not knocking him below half too early. Then we'll just be safe and touch the save point, even though the strat is pretty consistent. Then we try and burning strike directly, and this time we can, so that's lucky. Sometimes you have to heal before you can do that, since the ultimate move in this game costs 30% health. And then, as detailed in the run, with Endeavour we're going to get Ethel now, who is one of the most OP characters for the whole run. With her good physical skill, good magic skill, and good AoE, which is her physical skill, but it's also powerful on a single target. Plus she gets a really good Fury that works really well with her. Okay, so after this dungeon, the differences between the basic New Game Amateur route and the Evil Goddess route finally start. Apart from that one item that I picked up in the... Oh, there's 2 items, sorry, that I picked up in the fireplace. Did I remember to get the second item? Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure I did, but if not, then I can go back. Yeah, I got it. Just slightly second guessing myself there because of all the shit that's gone on today. But it's all good. I did forget an item much earlier, but I get another chance at that one in the second timeline and it makes no difference when I get it. As long as I do remember to get it the second time. So for now, just feed through here and defeat Pippin at the end. Ah, dang. Those things have eyes in the back of their head, I swear. Or just a really stupid look box. Either way. It sucks. So... Pippin is no threat as usual. If you play higher difficulties, he can snipe one of your members with his ultimate skill. I think he still in theory can on this difficulty as well. It's just less likely. Alright, yeah. Evil doesn't actually have a good skill yet. You do one battle deliberately without it because you don't need it yet. Oh, he used his ultimate. But it's fine. No, that wasn't his ultimate. It was just a strong skill. Anyway, now we start setting up some weird stuff. We actually get the item sonar skill, which is not useful at all in an 80% run. And that'll be used a little later on. And then, as Endeavour did, we buy those things for Ethel and Pippin. We equip the good Furies on everyone. Galdo doesn't really need one, I don't know why I'm doing his, but whatever. We let Hardy hold that one to level up for the second playthrough. We don't have a light attacker yet, but we will later. And the first difference is that... First major difference is that we take our whole party into this battle. And unlike Endeavour, we do have to shop now. And I just needed to make sure I had 10k left at the end, and then, like I said, we need one more Fury than what the game gives us by default. So, we go ahead and use Bribe Lola to give us information about another Fury. It's green event instead of orange, so it's optional. But these are the only other way to get Furies other than going up the Shukizu's tower, which is lower for the particular type of Fury that we need. Because we need one that can take A rank. Which are only available in late game. Now this fight would be annoying if I was playing on any difficulty other than amateur. Because these guys can do all kinds of status effects and stuff. But as it is, it should be fine. Oh, what? So you don't have any AoE, so just do that, I guess. And that gives us an A rank Fury, as I said. Then we use Fang's backtrack skill, which is the same as the Return Wing, to get out. And now we can get rid of the useless characters. And move these two to a better position in the formation. So we needed all our characters to make sure we could one-turn that fairy fight. Of course I still missed the one turn in the end, but not by much. And then it goes back to being the same as the goddess route for a few more dungeons. Actually just one more dungeon. I immediately have to change my plans in the next dungeon. And soon it will be revealed why I got items sonar. So one of the items I need to make the stones for the quest is a glacial stone, like the stones combine into different ones. And glacial is one of the parts I need. So, there are two ways to get a glacial stone. I just have to quickly check this way for the hidden item. It's not here. So, there are two ways to get a glacial stone. One is by combining 5 ice stones. And the other, substantially faster but substantially less consistent way, is to get one directly from a hidden item. Now, this is just completely RNG. Whether I get a glacial stone from the hidden items in this dungeon or not. But it's worth looking. On my way directly through, once. And if I don't get it, then I will get it the consistent way by combining 5 ice stones. And ice stones I can steal. But it does mean I need to take some small detours to... Okay, it's up here. Does mean I need to take some small detours to actually get to the hidden items sometimes. But unfortunately, no glacial stone directly. Didn't even get a free ice stone for my trouble. So did not pan out this time. So I'll just be stealing all 5 ice stones. Anyway, just quickly finish off Mariana after that. Also, License 199999 by Endeavour, I see. A little while back. After this, we'll go straight up the inverted tower. And there's the Mega Annie. I wonder if it's got junk in it. I can't really check since I'm in the middle to run. Free tokens, huh? That's actually really lucky. Not like amazingly lucky, but fixes your luck. For the most part. On average. And another fight which is difficult on any difficulty other than amateur, but easy on amateur. And soon we will begin the actual stone grinding. For the ones that we need to steal. But first I need to pick up a couple of chests, one in here and one in the next dungeon, which have more windstones. I'm also setting the Sylph Fairy when I don't really need to, just to try and fix my experience, since Fang died all the way back on Apollonius, and I seem to be below normal experience. Still. But yeah, there's the third Windstone from a chest. Now I just need to steal 2. As much as stealing is not actually that bad in this game, you still don't want to do it any more than you need to.
邪魔すんなっての。覚悟しね。
And this is the fight where it's not worth trying to do Fair Eyes strats because he inflicts Fair Eyes block a ton of the time.
やらせてもらう。
寝てて。
片付ける。やります。まだやれるぜ。行きます。
Alright, so now we're just before the final dungeon, so what we're going to do is head back here. And set up our new main for a very short amount of time, Galdo. Because he's the one who has steal skills right now. There is one more person who has steal skills, but we don't have access to them right now. And we're not going to until we're actually in Evil Goddess route. Now I just need to keep track of which ones I steal from. Each enemy has 2 items, you get them in a random order, and once you get both of them, that's it. Okay, so I got my 2 Windstones, so now I can just kill these guys and leave. Oops, I had all 3 of them. Okay, there we go. So I've stolen my 2 Windstones now. Now I have 5 total Windstones, that's all I need. But I am going to have to get all 5 Ice Stones. So same deal. I've stolen from A so far, so now I need to go for a different one. And I've stolen from C, so now I just need to go for B only. But sometimes they won't be in range to steal like this. So in this case I'll just kill one that isn't B. Did I get range? No, I'm just gonna kill this other one then. Okay. So that's 3 down. Whoops. 2 to go. And sometimes your steal will miss like that, although it's less likely the better your stat advantage, I think. Okay, I got one from A, so now I just need to get one from B. Or C. Okay, I got a high potion from B, so now I want to go for B deliberately because it can only give me a Windstone now. Okay, now I can kill them and go. I'll just play safe. Okay, so that's all 5 stones. All 5 ice stones, and I already got all 5 wind stones, so that is all the stones I need. Now we can finish the first playthrough. So goodbye Galdo, you have served your purpose for the entire run. I will not be using you again, deliberately. Maybe unintentionally he ends up in my party, but I will not be using him again deliberately. And I too have not practiced these jumps, so this could be fun. They are a little easier on PS4 because it's not as laggy, but the same hard 2 jumps still apply, the second one and the final one. Okay, there we go. Second try isn't too bad, especially since I failed at the earlier point the first time. What am I to do here? There. Force her into her second phase. Wow, why is she going first? Dang, I'm underleveled apparently. Get rid of Gauda, like we said, screw Gauda. So I have my A-Rank Fury, I have my 5 Windstones, and I have my 5 Ice Stones. That's all I need to be able to get Evil Goddess on the second playthrough, so it's really just going back to speed for now. We're also on decent pace for the first playthrough part. Like, it's going to be around 50 minutes, or 48 minutes or something. Which ain't bad at all. Maybe maybe more like 49, yeah. Assuming I don't die here, which would suck, but there is a small chance. So that was that. That's the only really potentially tricky fight in the tower on amateur. But we all save before the final boss just in case, and by save I mean touch the save point, since that's equivalent to saving for a speedrun. Make sure to get rid of Tiara, since that killed Endeavor yesterday. Not doing it. Oh shit, I used the wrong skill. Okay, he's nearly dead anyway, he's gonna double cutscene if he gets a turn at all. Which he didn't. Okay. 48 minute first time ain't bad. So now we go again. And because it's the second playthrough, we can just go straight through jail. You keep all the keys, thankfully. And we can just use explosion to kill every fight, apart from this one, which is still unwinnable. Whoops, I accidentally went into the shop early. Doesn't really matter. Just wastes a tiny little bit of time. Now we can start unsealing the 16 Furies from the Vile God, except the game actually makes you unseal one from the Goddess. You cannot do the first one from the Goddess. So we unseal one from the Goddess like that, and then we go back in and we do 16 from the Vile God. And we also equip some Furies. to characters, some to level the Fury up, and some because they work well with the character. We have access to all the characters because it's New Game Plus, and that's a feature that they give you in New Game Plus without you having to ask for it.
始めますわ。
やらせてもらう。寝てろ。
覚悟を。次止まりませんわよ。
覚悟しな。どうだ。
So we have to do 16 battles to unseal these 16 Furies. Minari.
お覚悟を。
やらせてもらう。
始めます。タイム。
A lot of them are easy enough to kill with only one character, like with only Tiara,
覚悟しな。
but some of them aren't, so
始めます。
we do the ones that require Fang first. Unfortunately, sometimes they live just barely, even with Fang.
甘くんなっての。
どなたが相手かしら。たわいもないわ。
I missed a couple of them, unfortunately.
次。
Alright, now we've done the 4 that need Fang, we can get rid of him. And we can also take Undine off Harley, because that's leveled up enough. So now we just go through a bunch of fights
始めま
with
すわ。
Tiara only.
始めます。たわい。始めますわ。お覚悟を。
So,
はい。
including this one, there's 11 more, so now 10 more.
始めますわ。お覚悟を。タイム。準備はよろしくて。はい。始めますわ。始めます。終わりですわ。
And sometimes the enemies will barely live, but no big deal. And this fight is deliberately takes 2 attacks. These guys are just too spread out and too tanky to kill in one turn.
終わり。お覚悟を。どなたが相手かしら。はい。
But most of these fights just get absolutely mopped the floor with by Maelstrom.
さあ行きますわよ。はい。お覚悟を。どなたが相手かしら。
We can also do most of them just by pressing left once, which is convenient. Eventually there will be 1 or 2 that we
準
can't.
備はよろしくて。終わりで。始めますわ。お覚悟を。次。さあ行きますわよ。次。
And with all of that done, we now have 16 swords unsealed from the Val God. You can see that there's only 4 left. And for the time being, we don't need any particular fury because we're on amateur and we're back at the start of the game, so we go ahead and just use the top one. So for the time being, we just need to blow through some dungeons. I do need to pick up that item that I missed the first time round. The Lightning Stone. That's still quite a few dungeons away though. It's not until near the end of the first timeline that that's available.
行きますわよ。キュイ。終わりです。
So this is basically a New Game Plus speedrun for a few dungeons. We're not quite as powerful as we are in normal New Game Plus. So we can't just use Maelstrom on absolutely everything. We do eventually have to set up a real party, but it is pretty fast.
油断なさらないで。次。
Alright, so this is the point that we're going to set up a party, so... Whoops, went into the wrong one. We're just going to use our usual free, but we're also going to learn a new move for Fang. Now that we have an A rank Fury Unsealed, we can learn some more powerful moves. And one such move is Eruption Edge, which is a really strong, really big AoE move for Fang. And it's his best move by quite some distance. At least in terms of pure utility. Whoops, we don't actually do anything here, we still wait. You can win this in a real New Game Plus speedrun, but we're not strong enough to do that. The reason we want to set up a party before it is that enemy turns are much slower than your own turns, and I need to set up a party eventually anyway. So I may as well do it at a point which allows me to get more of my own turns compared to enemy turns. And now from now on we're going to start using the damage times 2 Fury. On the second playthrough we have a different damage times 2 Fury. We have the one from the Vile God. And this one increases experience instead of WP, where WP is the points that lets you learn stuff. And slightly boosts your stats. Experience of course just makes you level faster. And at this point in the game I don't need any more WP at all. I'm almost completely done learning skills other than one new character that I didn't get in the first playthrough, who I'm going to use in the second. And she already comes with a bunch of WP. So there's no need to level her skills. I mean, there's no need to grind any WP for her. So now we just sweep through a bit more. Because these characters aren't normally part of our party at this point in the game, they stay in even though this is meant to be Fang solo, not that it would matter. And that first phase is usually unwinnable in New Game. Even in Amateur, you just don't have enough resources to win it after you do the previous fights. But you win it in New Game Plus of any description, because it's not actually that high on stats at all. A couple of these enemies are weak enough to die to a combo, and then we'll swap over to skills now. Meanwhile, Aoife will just keep carrying the team. Tiara temporarily comes back in. Now this fight is still unwinnable. But the second phase is simple enough. And now we're going to use Ethel to kill Ethel. Because of course in the first timeline you actually just straight up kill her. But because of New Game Plus continuity hacks, we can fight her with herself. Of course this happens in plenty of other RPG New Game Pluses, but it's still amusing every time it does happen. Wow, Ethel one-shot herself. What a surprise. Alright, so now I can pick up the item that I missed on the first timeline, or the first go-through. Makes absolutely no difference whether I get it now or then, but it would have been better to get it earlier, just have it out of the way. Alas, we will do it now. I forgot it. I've already blown straight past where it was. Whoops. Guess I have to go back. Not too far though, but that's a bit of a dip. It's over there, in that corner. There we go, the lightning stone. That's all I need. That was a bit of a dip for getting it. It maybe cost about a minute total. I was too busy talking about it and not actually picking it up. Oh whoops, this guy's unwinnable of course. I was like, why did I do so little damage? But of course, he's unwinnable. And then this phase will just die to 1. And then, same as before, we don't care what Fury we use on this dungeon because the unwinnable fight at the end, and not a winnable one after it, so just sink any Fury whatsoever. And make my way through Subterranean Tower for the final time. The dungeon of course does reappear in the Goddess route and the Vile God route, but not the Evil Goddess route, so this is actually the last time through this place. Unfortunate encounter, doesn't really matter though. Everything's doing 0 at this point. And it's easy enough to escape with Ethel. Get caught on a rock for good measure. One thing about the Neptunia games is and these other iffy games that use the same engine as their wonky collision. Unfortunately you can still get into an encounter even while you're in the mid-jump though. Yeah, they have wonky collision, and you always get caught on stuff if you try and hug walls too much. But of course there's also this random bits of rubble in the middle of the ground, so can't always avoid it. As usual though, we just spam wait for unwinnables. And now we're finally going to do that quest rank grinding that I talked about earlier. So we'll accept 2 quests that are easy to repeat. We'll finish this part as well.
戦開始だね。聞いて。やっつける。行く。次。
So what we have to do to get this rank up is to do six total quests. The easiest way to do this is to repeat the same ones over and over because they give you the same credit regardless. And this is the easiest quest to do quickly.
次。さあ行きますわよ。始まる。だってな。
You can do 3 quests and 2 visits, and then do it once more. And that's quest rank E finished, and you get the rank up to D.
かかってこい。
さて。
Why is Harley first? Excuse me? I guess I'm just taking you out of my party if you're somehow first. Because you're gonna waste a shit ton of time by being first.
始まる。寝てて。
いらっしゃいます。お疲れ様でした。
But yeah, we're almost done with quest rank E now.
ありがとう。
One more set of 2 battles, and then we hand in these quests and we get the rank up quest unlocked.
次。
It's just easiest to do it now when we have the ability to one-shot all these enemies.
いらっしゃいます。お疲れ様でした。よろしくお願いします。
And then the first rank up quest is just buying items from the shop, which is pretty simple.
いらっしゃいませ。ありがとうございます。
She just needs 3 red tonics and 5 energy shards. And we also grab one particular item for later,
ありがとうございます。
this one dimension clock. And we also synthesize these things, these stones, which will be for the D to C quest, which is the last one we have to do. So that's quest rank D. And now, one more. Now we'll try and get as far as we can to quest rank C. And we got lucky, we got enough random drops that we can immediately get to quest rank C now. We just need to do this 5 times, I think it is. And it only requires 1 drop each time. Yeah, 1 more time. And then we can do the D to C quest, which we already have all the items for. And now we are done with the quest rank shenanigans completely. You can get from D to C in the Evil Goddess playthrough, so that's what you do if you don't have enough. Oh, hold on. I need to get rid of my trash. Hold up. There we go. Okay, so now I am at quest rank C, which is all I need to finish the Evil Goddess route. Once I actually get there. I have unsealed 16 Furies from the Vile God. All we need. So we can just carry on through the what remains of the first timeline story, which isn't much at all. But at the very end, we're going to do the hardest boss fight in the entire run. Because he actually hurts, even on amateur, a lot. We also do 1 extra cutscene skip. Because of this being Evil Goddess. Add this as well. To get more experience. Now we're getting almost double the experience that we would without any Furies that affect it. And restoring SP isn't something you need to do on amateur. But we do need to touch the save point before this battle. Not the first one. The first one is just the same Mariana fight as the first time one. So of course it's very easy. But then we have this. The Vile God. You have to actually beat the Vile God. And it is not easy. By any means. It's basically RNG to the max, shall we say. It completely depends on what moves he uses. You don't want to get hit AoE if you can avoid it. I probably attacked a little too quickly there. I mean AoE'd a bit. Ultimate moved a bit too quickly there. So we'll heal with Pippin, while staying as far away from Ethel as we can. Alright, we might be able to kill him now. Okay, that's fine. I don't know if I can actually reach him to revive him, but I don't really need to experience that much. Okay, I could. Okay, so we beat the Vile God. Which is good. Getting Vile God first try is luck-based because he can one-shot you with a single attack, even on amateur. But I got lucky, so that's cool. And then here's the only version of the Hoodlum Fencer that actually has any HP to speak of. This guy actually takes 5 attacks to kill usually. Of course it helps of course I don't have damage times 2 on here. Because I didn't put it on, since I got teleported straight into that dungeon. And then straight away we get another battle where we don't have damage times 2 because it's in town and you can't have it. Now Geldo will temporarily join the party, but he's not going to be around for long. Now, the game actually kills off, well, not completely kills off Geldo, but he leaves your party for the entire rest of the story after this dungeon because of getting grievously injured. And you'd think that would actually matter, but of course, New Game Plus you always have access to all the characters, so you could use them regardless if you wanted to. So it's a little pointless, but I suppose they pretend that some people don't use that option of having all the characters at once. In any case, so just one boss battle here, and as you can maybe tell by me not saying damage times 2, it's unwinnable. Although, I maybe should have set damage times 2 to make sure that he killed me in one hit. Not that it made a huge difference. And now Lola joins the party, and she is the reason we trained up the Light Fairy earlier, and also the third member of the party in this storyline. She is pretty OP, she has a skill similar to Fang's. Fang's Eruption Edge, she's got her own one called Magical Magnum, which has the huge AoE and the high damage. As you can see, got that massive half circle shape. And the even better thing about Lola's version is that it also has a ton of hits, so it lets her Fairize really quickly. Whereas Fang has to use Flame Assault once to Fairize. So yeah, Lola is the most OP member of the party for a while. And she's pretty OP. But for now we just have to go through jail. Part 2, using different keys. And with a different visual experience. Different layout, but still jail. Unfortunately, even in New Game Plus, if you do New Game Plus Vile God or Evil Goddess, you can't choose this jail. The keys don't carry over. Probably because it's reused in both of them, and they don't want the keys from one story working in another, so they just don't carry over at all. Unlike the keys for the jail at the start of the game. Either way, you just need to remember where all the keys are. And get them all. And that is, I think, the one fight where it doesn't just get immediately one-shot by Lola because the enemies are more spread out. But the puzzle is almost the same as it is in Wild God. We haven't actually shown Wild God in this marathon, but we did in previous marathons, and you go through this jail there. But 2 of the keys have been moved compared to Wild God. This is one of them. And when I say moved, those 2 keys got moved from battles to chests. Whoops, this is the wrong way. This way. Apparently it can take a couple of weeks for affiliate emotes, so we're pretty unlikely to have it happen, but it would be nice. But yeah, we're just cleaning up the keys. Almost done with this dungeon now. Just a couple more keys to get. Though this last one is the longest detour. And if I didn't have quest rank C yet, I would be breaking the pots in this place. They can drop an item which I can hand in for a quest. A D rank quest to get C rank. And that's the easiest way to get C rank. If you don't get it from the drops earlier. Yeah, one more key to get, and this is the second key that got moved from an enemy to a chest. It used to be that you got the black key in the final room, now you get the black key from that random chest there. And the black key is the final key. So that enemy to my right now, that I kind of just zoomed past without seeing it, is where the black key used to be. And now we get the first Evil Goddess exclusive character, Mariana, but Mariana is really bad, so screw that. Right, it's here next. We get rid of Mariana and we never use her. Because she's really bad, like I said. I accidentally boosted into that enemy though. Okay. So for the time being we're just going to boost for a couple of dungeons that are repeats from the previous timelines and previous playthrough. Fight some different enemies, nothing too tough. We will eventually find a new adversary. Well, actually I think it's right after this. So return to town. Okay, no, one more dungeon until we find the next actual new enemy. For now we're just doing some easy battles. So Lola has pretty much taken Pippin's place in the team. If you were keeping track of what my team was before. But Pippin will rejoin soon, and at that point he will be useful enough to use for a short amount of time. Man, Vert is actually within half of the next highest person. That's surprising. Anyway, Unwinnable. Normally won't kill you because it's amateur, but unwinnable. So now we have to do this battle without damage times 2, unfortunately. This is the first new adversary, Pippin, who is Pippin's father. And we also get a leveled up Pippin, so we use him for a little bit. Like I said, shortly we're going to be getting leveled up Aethel as well, and when we get leveled up Aethel we ditch Pippin again. Because you don't need him anymore at that point, but... we also temporarily get Tiara. Hold on, I need to do one more thing. So this is the one quest I need to do to actually finish the Evil Goddess route. You can't do the route without completing this quest. And this is also the reason why I bought one Dimension Clock. To use it here to respawn this dragon so I don't have to boost over to the other one. But yeah, now the quest is over, pretty simple stuff. And you get oil, which is to lubricate a certain wheel in this next dungeon to get to a boss battle. And this is the infinite boost dungeon where you can do this. And ideally you want to get every oil without letting go of boost if you can. I'm also keeping around Tiara temporarily as well, because Maelstrom is useful for a short amount of time. And then she becomes useless again once we start getting into only single target battles. Then we just burn a bit of time by doing this, while we wait for that animation of this bridge extending. We were a little too early, but that's fine. Now Tiara took care of that first battle immediately. She's not quite strong enough to do that for the next one, but pretty close. And now back in here. Ah, dang it, I hit a stone. Oh well, pretty clean run. Final objective in this place is to climb this hill and fight an enemy right at the very top. Unfortunately we have to climb the staircase by only jumping. Can't boost up there, and I didn't quite get the angle right to boost on the bridge, but oh well. Then we move everyone else forward. And that's that. That's all 3 quests in there, so we can leave and Harley will join. Which is our prompt to get rid of the trash. Again. Pippin. Right, okay. Now the first wine factory. Now the thing about the wine factories is that they're long, confusing mazes, and I am very likely to make at least one mistake. I'll just kill this fucking counter. I'm very likely to make at least one mistake while navigating through them. Yeah, like I have already. Because I don't have these very well memorized right now. I used to when I did New Game Plus Evil Goddess, but it's been long enough till I've forgotten the layout. I'm gonna remember some parts, but I will definitely make some mistakes. Is it this way? Okay, yeah, that's cool. They wouldn't be that hard to memorize if I actually spent the time to memorize them, but I just didn't have time to do that for this particular run. Get away from me! Silly enemies. The enemies are also kind of obnoxious to dodge at times. think we've done reasonably well, apart from that one minor hiccup at the very start. No, you don't go in here though. Okay, another encounter, but again, they're difficult to dodge. Okay, I guess don't use explosion. I'm just gonna run. Whatever. But of course, the reason that doesn't matter is that there's just one really easy battle at the end of the dungeon. And now we head to another new dungeon. We're actually getting quite a lot of new dungeons in a row that are Eagle Goddess exclusive, but this place is hell. This is hell on earth. For one reason. Encounters. This place is filled with massive monsters. It's not fun at all to dodge them. Sometimes you literally can't. This is basically every tight passage monster in one dungeon. The worst of all the dungeons in that regard. And if they see you at all, you're basically getting an encounter. When it's a big one anyway. The small ones, like, there are some bears and stuff that you can get past the usual way, but the giant monsters have just as giant hitboxes. And they will encounter you. I think it's this one now. You kind of... in this dungeon you kind of veer left to begin with and then you start going right after a while on each floor. It works the same on both floors. I think it's still left and then right after this, so... yeah, that seems right. And there's my first back whack, unfortunate. Doesn't really do any significant damage regardless though. Okay, yeah, this is the correct way. So now we're through hell at least. We still have to go through one more wine factory, but... we've made it through the real shit in terms of collision encounters. And he did not kill me, which is good. He can just snipe someone. Quite easily. Okay, second wine factory now. Again, a bit of a maze. Let's see how I fare. 2 floors, same stuff, same stuff. Unfortunately, you can't jump over these ledges to save any time. They all have fences and you can't jump over a fence because game logic. Okay, we've gone the right way on this floor at least. That's a good start. Also, at some point, not Vert. Why am I talking about Vert? E4 got a free level up as well, since she joined our party for real. When a character is meant to join your party, they will get... I'm 99% sure this isn't the right way, yeah. Don't know why I came down this way, I knew it wasn't the right way. This way. Yeah, when a character joins your party and they're below the level that they would be, if you're using like no character carryovers, they will level up to that level automatically for you. And Efo is pretty much the last the last normal character that joins your party. last non-exclusive one. And so she joins at level 78. So she just gets immediately leveled up to 78 from like level 50, which is nice.
いつでもいけるよ。
正義の名のもとにぞ。
I'm stuck between this enemy and the fucking wall. God damn it. That can very occasionally happen. That's the first time it's happened in this whole run, which I guess I should count myself lucky for.
さあ、気合い入れていくよ。
Anyway, we're on the home stretch.
覚悟しな。
ごめんなさい。
私の番。
力がこの放棄したことだ。
So Sherman was kind of the villain at the start of this
頑張る。
Eva Goddess route. He doesn't end up being the main villain, but
やらせてもらう。
he's the first villain that you have to take care of.
では、聞いて。
邪魔すんなっての。
Then we have an unwinnable. They killed me quickly, which is nice. And then
ロメス。
the Fang's Fury powers up scene, which happens once every
やらせてもらう。
route.
さていくよ。勝つのはよろしくて。始める。
Okay, I still can't reach Janone, unfortunately.
やれる。
さてと。
So we just take out Janone first, although we can hit both of them now, because they've moved close together.
次は。みんなにいる。
And there we go. So there's actually only 3 dungeons left. First we have 2 repeats, and then it's off to the final dungeon. But we do fight a new enemy and get a new party member here. So the main villain of this story is Janone, and her former sidekick, up to this point, Noi, is a bit wonky in the head. And so he wants to die. That's his main purpose in life, apparently, is to die.
始める。
さてと。
さていくよ。
やらせてもらう。
頑張る。
But for some reason he decides that the best way to have himself die is for him to join your party. Is to first fight you, and then when you fail to kill him, he'll join your party. Because logic. He never really believed in the ideals of the enemy, apparently. Also, I'm just gonna do this because I'm used to having them in the top 3 slots.
さあ、気合い入れていくよ。
いって。
私の番。
任せておく。やらせてもらう。
Then we have a couple of bosses that can actually finally hurt me, but
頑張る。
not a ton, but enough that you can see the damage numbers and they're not 0.
これを。さてと。
Now we can finish them off.
次。
Now we can't heal SP, but we don't need to. We are going to heal HP just for safety though, marathon run. Fang was the only one that got hit regardless. In Evil Goddess you get to such high level that you don't really have any SP problems whatsoever. So it's fine to use a Fury that blocks regenerating SP. Given the amount of experience it gives you. Right, I'm just gonna wait for this guy to turn once so that I can get past. Because otherwise that would have been a pain to pass. Alright, now we finally deal with Papin from earlier.
始める。
さてと。
さていくよ。
覚悟しな。
では、
おい。
いくよ。
以上。
いけるかも。
で。
では。さていくよ。やった。
So yeah, just spam alternate skills. And now we are off to the final dungeon. In the Vile God route, you go to the same place and it's called the Dank Meme Ruins. Not quite, but close enough. Unfortunately, it has a much more boring name in the Evil Goddess route, where they try to pretend that it's not the same place. So it's kind of like the second jail in that it's almost the same between the two stories, but not quite. You still need to get... So in the jail you needed to get certain keys. In this you need to get certain orbs. 2 orbs, that is. To access the final boss. And what they did between the two stories, VII and Evil Goddess, is that one of them makes you fight an enemy on one side and get an item on the other, and the other one just inverts that. So in Evil Goddess, you fight an enemy on this side and you get an item on the other side. And it's the other way around in VII. You do of course fight a different enemy in each one, but the principle is still the same. And it's also really annoying to try and dodge mobs here. But I'll try my best. Oh wait, no, it's this way first. I always get confused which way it is first. So that chest right in front of me now, like right next to the switch, is where I would get the orb in the Valgod route, but if I pick it up now you can see it doesn't have any orb whatsoever. So instead I have to come up this way and do this fight. Which is just against 2 stooges. Not difficult. I mean, they do hit reasonably hard, but not hard enough to matter. And then, unlike Valgod, where you would have to open an extra door to make sure you can progress on this side, you are now done on that side immediately after the battle. So off to the other side. So, second side, this would be where we would do a battle, and the battle is locked behind a door, which has a lock on the other side, or unlock on the other side, which is what I was talking about, but there is no battle this time, and we just need to pick up a certain chest. And as for where that chest is, it's fairly close to where the battle was, but not in the exact same place, so you don't need to open the door. This isn't too bad of a time for the run, considering the internet outage. I can't remember which of these switches you have to hit, but you have to hit one of them. And then you have to come back this way. And there we go, there's the other orb. I skipped the results screen of the boss battle, but of course it dropped me the first orb. And then instead of watching the animation for that door opening, it's faster to just leave and come back and it'll be automatically open. Touch the save point because this is the second and final hard boss battle in the run after the VII God at the start of this timeline. Not this part, this is just unwinnable. And we'll just type out bed in quickly and split up like we would on any vaguely difficult boss. And just spam our good skills until we either win or she uses her nuke skill and we might die in that case. We'll wait one more turn because she doesn't have a mid-battle cutscene. One thing about Evil Goddess route is that it doesn't go in for, or VII God and Evil Goddess route is that they don't go in for new in-battle cutscenes. Okay, and there we go, that's Of course there's a difference between the bet and my timer because I paused my timer when my stream was down, so the bet timer is correct. and my timer is slightly off. But that wasn't too bad of a run, considering the circumstances. I got 140 when I was doing the DRS run, so this is pretty much the same as that. Well, not DRS, but routing, but same shit, really. So, unfortunately, looks like 7 people bet for the vanilla net run instead, but too bad. We might give you some compensation later, though. Anyways. Onwards to the next run. Not quite. Like, I'm going to take a short break for food and water and bathroom because this run, even though we started late, I was 20 minutes faster than my estimate, so I have a bit of time. Not that much. I'm not going to take too long, but I'm going to take a short break, so be right back. Once I set up the intermission scene, of course. We'll play some music in the meantime.